Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca Lombardo, host of VendorVibes and fractional CMO. Today, I am here with Dawn. Hello, Dawn.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining me. So, please introduce yourself and tell us about PMS Pros.
Okay, well, my name is Dawn Yaskolski, and you asked me a million times, how do you say it? So just to clear it up, it's Yeskolski. It's phonetic, it looks hard, but it really isn't that hard.
Love it.
Um, and I am the new CEO and founder of PMS Pros, as well as my consulting side of the business called Yes to VR.
Excellent. So, what does PMS Pros do? And then what is Yes to VR?
Well, Yes to VR is my own one-on-one consulting business, and that is where I work with both the suppliers in the vacation rental industry and also the property managers. On the supplier side, I do consulting surrounding sales, go-to-market strategy, creating the sales pipeline, the funnel, all the KPIs around it, and improving sales teams just as a whole. Now, on the PMS side, that is where I've been approached to help with PMS decision making. So, considering that I have worked for a lot of the PMS companies within the industry or worked with them, I have a broad understanding as to which PMS is stronger in certain areas and which are a better fit for different PMs. So that I've been doing through Yes to VR as a one-on-one consulting with companies that are evaluating or looking to make a PMS switch.
Which, as we all know, is similar to getting a root canal. So it's
Yeah,
great
yeah.
that you guys are offering this. So, what makes PMS Pros special or unique?
PMS Pros is kind of just grew organically. It took on a life of its own. It's when we were trying to figure out how to help property managers evaluate software, either the software that they currently have or software that they're looking to possibly migrate to. And I had requests coming in from multiple property managers saying, I use XYZ, but I'm thinking about looking at this PMS. So in my brain, I figured, okay, this seems to be a larger, there seems to be a larger need for a truly unbiased third party to be able to sit in the middle and say, what are your needs? And these are the PMSs that we think fit those needs the best. We have no ties to any of them. So it's nothing in it for us as to which one you end up going with. But our goal is to get you into the one that fits your needs the best. So that took me down the road of searching for folks that had specific PMS experience. And that itself was interesting. Used a lot of LinkedIn, learned how to do a lot of searching to find those folks. And then once I did find them, kind of convince and sell them this idea and say, hey, listen, I'm gathering a group of individuals together. And Rebecca, you and I talked about this. You compared it to like the Avengers, where everybody has their own superpower. And so I was able to find folks that were working in onboarding and support and training at one point in time for the different PMS companies. So I have people that know Streamline back to front, Track, Guesty, Hostaway, Cyrus. I've gathered this group of amazing individuals that are now able to jump in at any given point during the PMS life cycle and provide support in whatever way that looks like for that property manager.
So, would I need to have anything in place in order to approach your team and work with you guys? Is there a prerequisite to working with PMS Pros?
No, there isn't. As long as we have a pro that is has experience with the software that you're either planning on migrating to or that you're already using, we can help. There's 4 different stages that of a PMS life cycle, according to the way I view it. And the first one starts with onboarding. And onboarding is that tumultuous time. Everybody hates it. You'd rather, poke your eyes out with red hot pokers than go through it. But it is that stage of your data going from one PMS into another, learning the basic functionality of it, training your internal staff as to how to use it, running dual side by side most of the times with your existing PMS, and then getting through all the different training and modules that you need to get to until you graduate. And after graduation comes a different phase, and that's adoption. And that is where, as a property manager, you take everything you learned in onboarding, and now it's time to apply it. So that is putting those, okay, how do I do owner statements in this new PMS? How do I run these reports? How do I do my month-end reconciliation? It's the nuts and bolts of actually applying that knowledge. Finally, you get to optimization. And optimization occurs down the road once you have a really good understanding of the software and how it operates. Now it's time to take a deep dive into it to see, are you using it to the best of its ability? Are there features and functionality that you're just not utilizing that could save you, a couple hours a week? Are there things that are going to, maybe there's some slight changes within your operations that if you made those changes, the PMS could do so much more for you. So it takes that expert to dive into the PMS and to look around and basically come back and say, listen, I see you're doing this and you're doing this and you're not using this. Let's talk about that and see what the reasons are and see if we could create some triggers or some automations that would just optimize the way that you're running your business. And then finally, the last stage is evaluation. And evaluation is really that stage where you think there's something better out there for you and your organization, and you really want to know if the grass is greener. Have I outgrown my PMS? And is there another option out there that fits my stage of growth as a company better? That is scalable with my plans of how I want to grow this company. So we can, as PMS pros, we can jump in at any one of those stages. And there's a really cool analogy that I heard somebody use when I was describing this to them. And they said, oh, you're either vitamins or painkillers. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, well, painkillers are when there's pain and you need the pain to stop and you need to take something quickly, take some action to stop the pain. And that's where one of our pros could jump in if onboarding is not going the way that you want, and be that painkiller that will take on that pain and then help be the buffer between you and your business and learning the new PMS. And then vitamins are what you take or what you put in place to make you strong, to build your foundation. So you don't need the painkillers in the future. So that is the training that we can come in, the additional training that we can do with the staff. Maybe there's employee turnover, and the PMS knowledge has just been handed down employee to employee. And there's attrition of that knowledge as you do that. So maybe it's that refresher that comes in for one day every few months and sits with the department and says, okay, let's go over your day to day. Let's see how we can make it better. So that's vitamins and painkillers.
I was joking earlier about the root canal, but I think the painkiller has actually kind of validated that. So
Right.
if you think about the folks that are so happy with you right now, can you share a little bit about why everybody is, loving this?
Well, I think it is another option for property managers to get assistance with their PMS and their business operations. Up until now, any assistance that you would get really ended at the PMS. And they do a great job. And their onboarding is done in a certain way for a certain reason. And we are not trying to replace that. We are not trying to come in between that. All we are trying to say is some property managers need or want another level of assistance. And we are able to provide that next level, whether it be at onboarding, optimization. We can come in and be that client side advocate that will take the time, as much time as you need, in order to get the most out of your software or get you through a certain stage or a certain period of time. And I was hesitant when I was putting together this model, and I wanted to approach the PMS companies directly and tell them what we were doing. And so I had calls with each one of them, and I said, listen, I want you to hear it from me. This is what we're doing. We're not trying to do XYZ. And to my relief, the most of them were like, yes, please do this. We would love to do this for our customers. But just because of certain constraints that every company has, we're not able to. And we would love to have another partner in the industry where we could say, hey, listen, sounds like you want a combination of, operations, consulting, and then how to deploy that in the software. We've got a great company that has experts in XYZ PMS. We'd love to introduce you to them. So that is how we are working with the PMS companies.
Excellent. So it's not based on, like, it doesn't matter if I have, one property or 5,000 properties. It's not really based on that. It's really based on kind of where I'm at in that stage and what I might be going through in my transition.
Exactly. Exactly. We have customers right now that are on the smaller side that they said, we went through onboarding, but we just didn't absorb it all. And now we would have to go through it again, and there's videos to watch and there's documents to read, and we just don't learn that way. So we need someone more hands-on to sit with us, and we'll break it up into however many bite-sized sessions that they need in order to process the information. And we can customize a training or a consulting program specifically for that company. Now we have larger companies that said, we need to focus on running our business. And we don't have time to do the video, watching the videos, translating that into how we operate, then writing SOPs that will be distributed through our company. We need that layer of help. So we're able to work with the larger companies and being that conduit and that translator to a degree of saying, okay, this is the plan. This date is your go live date. We have to have your units verified by this date. We're going to scrub them in the sandbox environment, this date to this date. We have to add in any Airbnb and VRBO listing headings that need to, and I'm just making this up as I go along. But we actually are the ones in the software creating the guide, creating the internal timelines for the company to make sure that they are progressing through their onboarding.
Excellent. Well, I know we're going to get follow-up questions from this. So if you could, if you could please share, what is the best way to reach out to you if somebody wants to talk to you further?
Sure. So the website is www.thepmspros.com. And on there right now, the site is evolving. We do have a section called packages. And the packages section right now is only referring to packages we have developed for Track PMS. But there definitely are packages for Streamline, for Guesty, for Hostaway, and then we have general operations packages as well. So don't, it's not just Track training. There's more packages coming up. My email address is dawn@thepmspros, pretty easy. And we would love to do question and answer sessions with anyone, do any type of evaluation that you might like us to do. And then also be that unbiased resource. If you say, listen, I don't know what I don't know, and I think I need something new, but I'm not sure. And I don't want to go to my PMS and I don't want to go to another PMS because I know I'm going to get their version of it, of what I need. So I need somebody that can look at what we're doing and say yes or no. You've got what you need. You're just not using it the right way, or you've really outgrown this and maybe this is where we should look next.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking time to speak with me today and sharing all this information. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. I'm so excited to get this out, and this is really a passion project of mine, and everybody's been very, very supportive of it. So thank you, and thank all my friends in the industry that also encouraged me to go through with this. And we are excited and ready to help property managers.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dawn. Thanks everybody for listening. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.